YAHAWAH, everyone. And for the brothers from the Phoenix camp. That being said, we want to give all honor, glory, praise to Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWAHSHI, BAHASHAM, QUADASH. Double honor to the elders of Great Millstone. And peace and salutation to brothers out there doing the work in truth and sincerity, man. We want to get into real quick today is that's how the calamities and earthquakes and destruction is coming upon this earth, man. You know, all you got to do is look at the your local your world news, and you'll see all kinds of things happening, man. You got upwards of the people. You got earthquakes. You had an earthquake up in the Philistines, in the Philippines. You know, it killed like so many people, man. What was it? Let me get this real quick. So like, yeah, I said on 400, and you know that's a lie. It says 400 people injured. You know that's a lie. You know there's more than that. You know, the thing about it is that the Lord He's bringing hell upon this place, man. You know, He's bringing hell upon this place because he's angry at this place, like the scripture says, man. You know, He's preparing judgment for this place. You know, the scriptures talk about He was going to bring earthquakes and calamities and destruction upon the earth before the return of YAHWAHSHI, man. So all these things, it should just trigger in you, you know, that we're closer to the end than ever before, man. You know, we're at the very last seconds of Esau's downfall. You know, that should have you rejoicing. Now you want to get that one scripture up?
This is 2nd Ezra chapter 9, verse 1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself.
That's what the men of the Lord do, man. We measure the time diligently, man. Meaning what? You know, we decipher these things through the scriptures, man. We measure. How do you measure something? You measure it by looking at it and say, okay, this is lining up to this scripture. This is lining up that scripture. You know, we just need this to happen, this to happen, this to happen, man.
Hey, and YAHWAHSHI said too, you know, He gave us a little a parameter to check out when certain things were happening around the world. Hey, when those things start happening, hey, that's when you have to even be more ready, be more cautious, be more circumspect, man, because those are the times that evil are approaching. You know, they're here pretty much, man. You know, the chip is out. You know, you got countless articles of the uproars of the people. You know, the whole world is rebelling against Esau's rulership, man, because they're sick and tired of Esau dominating and doing what he wants to do with everybody around the world, man. You know. So, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before.
God, and YAHWAHSHI spoke about those things, man. He told the apostles about those things because the apostles had to worship be the signs of his coming, man. And so that's the scripture that's reinforcing that, you know.
Then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which He made.
And that's talking about this time right now. This is the time that we're living in, man. These are the last days, man. You know, these scriptures are written for this time right now. You know, all the scriptures, all the apocrypha, you know, from Genesis to Revelation, is written for this time now, man. For the men of the Lord doing this work right now. And that's why, just like the brother said, man, he brought the scripture measure the time diligently. You know, because YAHWAHSHI told us, you know, to be watchful, to watch and pray. That's what we got to be doing these last days. We got to watch and be praying. We got to be diligent about what's going on, man. This is a time to put in that work, man. To put that fire in you, man.
Yeah, because the apostle Orion said that, you know, you got to be on hyperdrive, you know, excel as much as you can in doing this work and pushing these videos and just being brotherly and doing the work of the Lord, man, being a watchman for the nation of Israel, you know, and letting everybody know, letting the whole world know, hey, that the Most High YAHWAHSHI is getting ready to bring judgment upon this place, man, you know. So I'm gonna finish this up, bro. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and upwards of the people in the world.
The upwards of the people, and what's that article, man?
Yeah,
we're going to tell you about some recent upwards of the people, man. Okay. Hey, this President Trump, and he sent troops to the border already, man. Because there's Central Americans, I think they're invading the border in mass numbers.
The tribes, man, Zebulon.
Bro.
So this is from USA Today. Migrant caravan. Trump officials may seal the border, deny asylum applications at Mexico border to block entry. Hey, man, and you know, these Edomites, man, this could be something major, man. This could really be something that they use to propagate their agenda, man. To you know, Esau's big on them false flags around. We just had one, you know, where this dude was sending bombs around to big elect officials. You know, President Obama, I think Clinton, they all received bonds, man. So Esau's, you know, through the spirit, we feel that Esau's about to do something, man. He's about to do one of them false flags are like false flag attacks and push certain agendas. So, hey, man, because he's ready to move upon the men of the Lord, man, to bring his new world order, because that's his plan, to bring that new world order, man. I'm gonna read this again. With thousands of asylum-seeking migrants making their way toward the U.S.-Mexican border, the Trump administration is looking at options to restrict or block outright their ability to enter the country. Officials said everything is on the table with respect to sealing the border, including denial of asylum applications based on the so-called travel ban of 2017. Okay, here it is. Part of the overall plan involves manpower. The Pentagon is preparing to deploy at least 800 troops to the border. And part of that, man, they don't want your tribes, man. That just shows Esau's hatred for the tribes, man. The Latinos, which are part of the nation of Israel, man.
God, and Trump was saying too, he was pretty much saying that those people coming over and nothing but a bunch of fucking criminals, man.
Yeah.
He was telling them, well, you got some tough guys, you got some bad guys up in there. He was saying, hey, there might be, man, but basically he wants to put a bad face on our people, man.
You see, Paul, that's how Esau works, man. He created the situation in Central, South America, Mexico. He creates the situation, and when the people want to, because Jake, man, you want to hustle and make some money, and they see it an opportunity as America, which is prophesied, man, that they should bring their children to the murder, and what they're doing, they're bringing their kids over here for a better opportunity, a so-called better opportunity, but they're bringing their kids to the devil, man, because Esau fucked up all those countries, man, by pulling out leaders that they didn't want for their own leaders, and they'll implant their own leaders in that country. Whatever's situated better to push that American agenda, that's what they did, man. And they fucked up many countries, man. Guatemala, Nicaragua, Venezuela.
If I might say too, the scripture saying, "You shall go to your enemy for the want of all things," and that's what these Central Americans, South Americans are doing. They're coming, passing through Mexico to get to what? To get to the border of U.S. They want to come into the country to find a better life, man. But really, this place is slavery. It's a modern day slavery. It's very high tech. For a lack of words, man. The way that America sets you up and puts you in a rat wheel to just keep going and going and just barely making the rich richer.
Come, bro. America, this is the biggest slavery because America has the biggest prison population on the planet, man. And those according to the Constitution, hey, those are slaves because
modern day slavery.
Yeah, modern day slavery, man. So slavery is still in effect.
Yeah, because I think the Constitution reads that slavery is permitted when someone commits a crime. So if you commit a crime, they can put you in slavery. That's what the jail system is, man.
Mm-hmm.
They pay you like pennies on the dollar at those fucking jails, man.
Pennies per hour and shit, man.
Yeah. And you know what? And like the brother was reading, these are upwards of the people, and these are signs. So we have to measure and see, these are the things that will be happening in the last days. It's just too many things. I got this too.
Go ahead.
This is Isaiah 29:6. It says, "Thou shalt be visited of Yahawah of hosts with thunder and with earthquake and great noise, with storm and tempest and the flame of devouring fire." All right, and I got this article right here. I'm just gonna read off some of the storms that's been going on, man. This is Slovakia.
And like the brother was saying, man, the destruction, earthquakes, tsunamis, all that's taking place on a worldwide scale. Just because you can't see it in your own little four-sided little box that you live in, doesn't mean it's not going on, man. This thing is happening worldwide, man.
Mm-hmm.
This is a worldwide thing. Just because you sit in front of your fucking TV and watch fucking your stupid ass TV shows, you can't see it. It doesn't mean it ain't going on, man.
Yeah, and I was just gonna read off some of the floods, because the scriptures say the Lord will visit with storm and tempest. This is Trinidad. It says Trinidad, hundreds displaced by floods. Flooding and landslides have affected parts of Trinidad and Tobago since Friday 19th October after a period of heavy rain. This is Colombia. Deadly landslides in Caldas, thousands affected by floods in La Guajira. At least 12 people have died after heavy rain triggered landslides in Colombia's Caldas department. All right. It says Texas floods prompt disaster declarations. rainfalls in 330 millimeters of rainfalls in 48 hours. Severe flooding in Central and South Texas prompted Texas Governor Greg Abbott to declare a state disaster in 18 counties. All right. USA Hurricane Michael storm surges causes flooding in Florida. Hurricane Michael made landfall on Wednesday, 10th of October near Mexico Beach, Florida, with top sustained winds reaching 155 miles per hour. You got it.
Yeah, Con, now to ask what the brother speaking, before I left my house, my mom told me about over there where they're from, over there in Nayarit, Mexico, that the ranchos that they're from, they were flooded, man. That the water reached them to the houses, man. So there's like literally rivers on the streets of just water out there because of the hurricane that hit out there, man.
Oh yeah, and Sinaloa too. I was watching on the news too. Sinaloa, there was a lot of flooding too. I'm gonna continue a little bit. This is Central America, deadly floods and landslides after torrential rain. Heavy rain from two low pressure systems has caused flooding and landslides in parts of Central America. As much as 270 millimeters of rain fell in Puerto Barrios, Guatemala. All right, Uruguay. Hey, these are all Central and South America. That's your tribes, man.
So-called Latinos, man.
Your Northern Kingdom. It says Uruguay flash floods leave 4 dead, dozens displaced. Severe weather in Uruguay over the last few days has left 4 people dead, 1 injured, dozens displaced. And Venezuela flash floods. All right, flooding the state of Vargas in Venezuela has caused severe material damage and at least 2 people dead. Torrential rain hit areas of the state on 25th of September. You see, and it goes on, man. It goes on and on. So the Lord's visiting this place. I was kind of like tripping out when I was watching. I was seeing it on the social media, man. That all these videos after videos of people, all right, where the water from the rain is literally covering their vehicles. Their vehicles are destroyed. The water that creeped into their houses. You got water that's damn near higher than the windows of a house. That's a lot of water, man. The Lord's doing this, and it's all over the world.
And these people, they depend on that livestock to survive out there, man. Especially in the third world countries like Guatemala and all that places. So that those flash floods kill a lot of their animals, man. So they're getting hit, man. They're getting tormented by YAHAWAHSHI, man.
I seen a bunch of pigs. Yeah. A bunch of pigs were dead in a corral. I forget what state it was. And they got some.
Here in the U.S.
It was in the U.S. Yeah. They got some cows too. These cows were damn near up to their, above their legs in water, man.
And with all that death and destruction, with all that earthquakes and floods and everything, what a key word with the article that Brother brought out was displacement, man. It caused all these people to be displaced. And what does that cause? It causes them it disrupts their everyday life, man. What happens when you disrupt someone's everyday life, man? They start getting desperate. And what happens when they start getting desperate? They're going to start fucking causing uproar, man. They're going to start being desperate. They're going to start stealing, killing, and doing whatever they got to do to survive, man.
Yeah, that's why those people are coming up here, man, because, that's why the scriptures talk about that uproar of the people in the last days, because the people are starting to realize that their government, the people that they think that they're electing for their own benefit, those fucking politicians, they're puppet politicians of America, man. They're benefiting only the U.S. Everything that they do is for their own personal gain, that greed, So, hey, man, these people are getting sick and tired, man, and pretty soon it's going to be war out there, pretty much like people are going to take arms and they're going to fight, man. That's what the scriptures talk about in insurrection, especially here in America, man. You see that shit popping off pretty soon, man, because you got these left wing versus these Trump supporters, these anti-fascists versus the Trump supporters. And you be seeing, I think in Portland, I have the article that they were fighting, man, and that's Esau against Esau, man. So I got this scripture real quick. This is Isaiah 19:2. And I will set the Egyptian against the Egyptian, and they shall fight everyone against his brother, and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. And that's what's going on, man. The curses are seeping onto Esau, man. And hey, man, they're starting to kill each other. They're starting to fuck each other up, man. Hey, those are the signs that the Most High, that He's getting ready to pull the plug on this fucking place, man.
Yeah. So all that goes hand in hand, man. The conditions that the Lord is calling upon His earth and the upwards of the people, they all go hand in hand. This is just warning signs, and these are just road markers to our salvation, man. Because it says, I think Revelation 12:12, it says rejoice, man, because because the devil's coming down a great wrath, but we should rejoice because the time is coming, man. Because he has a short time, roughly paraphrasing, man. Since, so the Lord's cutting, basically the Lord's cutting short the time of Esau, man. He's cutting his time short. And I got this one real quick. This is Psalms 18:7. It says, then the earth shook and trembled. And, that's what the Lord's doing to the earth right now. There's like, I forgot what it was. I got the statistic right there. It says there's over 500,000 earthquakes per year, man. And up to 1,000 earthquakes per day on a global scale. So, going back to this right here, Psalm 18:7, then the earth shook and trembled. That's what the Lord is doing right now to the earth. He's shaking it, he's trembling, man. He's calling these calamities, earthquakes to happen. And the foundations, also the hills moved and were shaken because he was wroth. That's talking about the Most High, man. He's wroth, he's mad, he's angry at this place, man. He's preparing to bring judgment on this place. Because that's why the Lord is going to bring judgment on this place, man, because he's tired, he's angry at the wickedness of it, man. And brothers are tired, man. We're tired of being here. So all this is speeding up to the salvation of the elect, man. Most time when we be those men, because we're looking forward to those things happening, man. We understand that we got to go through a severe time, talking about Jacob's trouble. But we have faith the Lord's going to bring us to those things. Most high when we be those men.
This is Matthew 24:6. And you shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. And you just had President Trump. He backed out of an old treaty with Russia, with Mikhail Gorbachev. All right, where they would demilitarize the making of nuclear weapons. So he backed out of that. Saying that Russia's doing it. You know what I mean? Basically, just starting some scandal. You know what I mean? And so that people are wondering, like, okay, so they have no more treaty and they're not going to make no more nuclear weapons. So what, are they going to start making them again?
Yeah.
So now we got to start doing it again. We got to start making more. You know what I mean? More weapons.
Oh.
That makes people believe there's a war coming.
Yeah.
Not saying that there's not. Not saying that there's not. But these are rumors of wars. Go ahead, bro.
Going into what you're speaking, this is the article, man. The INF Treaty. Putin shrugs off Trump's nuclear arms move. As Donald Trump tears up a key arms control treaty and pledged to rebuild his country's nuclear arsenal, Russia's president has promised to mirror every move. So that's just going to make up the buildup, man. The scriptures talk about 200 million missiles, man. So this is creating that environment, man. Last week he even joked about nuclear Armageddon. Military might has become key to Mr. Putin's positioning of Russia as a country to reckon with. No longer a superpower like the USSR, but still a nuclear force and one with its own agenda and interest to defend.
And that's a lie. That's a lie right there, man. That's a lie for them to say that Russia's not a superpower. Because when you got missiles, I read an article once. I'm not sure if it was true or not, but they said they had like 6 less missiles in the U.S. What is 6 less missiles?
Yeah, what's 6?
When you got the Satan II, all right, they could destroy something as big as the land of Texas, man. Yeah. You only need really about 4 or 5 of those to really demolish the whole United States mainland. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and pretty much Putin made fun of the U.S., telling them that there were years ahead on missile technology, man. So fucking Russia has better missiles than the U.S.
Right. Because the thing about it is that from a long time now, the Lord has been diminishing this place, man. I'm gonna run this back. This is Matthew 24:6, and you shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. All right, because you got so many countries saying they were going to go to war. You had what? Remember, brothers, they was talking about what's that dude? So like from North Korea. They was about to shoot nuclear missiles at any day. He said he had his finger. He had the button on his desk.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, not saying that they're not. I'm just saying you hear so many rumors every other day. There's some country's going to shoot a missile off. And you should hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass. Mm-hmm. So we have to, we realize we have to understand that these things have to happen, man. You know what I'm saying? But if we be the elect, the Lord says that only with our eyes shall we behold the reward of the wicked. And what reward is that? Is when the final World War III does happen, and Lord willing, we get beamed up in them chariots. We're gonna see the destruction of this place. It says, but the end is not yet, For nation shall rise against nation. And you've seen that. You've seen so many nations, mainly rising against the United States, man. It says, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. And that's what you're seeing. You're seeing it. It's all over. If you don't realize, all these calamities, whether it be a flood, whether it be an earthquake, whether it be a volcano, whether it be a tsunami. Matter of fact, there was a tornado in some place here in Arizona like last week. We've never had a tornado, man. It says, all these are the beginning of sorrows, man. So this is just the beginning, man. You got people that are displaced out of their homes. They have nowhere to go. Flooding, earthquakes. You got all these Greece is in bankrupt, and Venezuela too. There's a famine. All these are just the beginning of sorrows, man. It's just the beginning.
Oh, you got something?
Yeah. I got Luke 21:7. Slovakia 9. But when ye shall hear wars and commotions, and also that word commotions, I'll put in a blue letter.
Yeah.
It means instability, a state of disorder, disturbance, and confusion.
Instability, disorder, and confusion, right?
Be not terrified, for these things must first come to pass, but the end is not day by day. And day by day means like not just quick, like immediate. Like how those Christian churches said that HALAL is going to show them one day and shit.
Yeah. So basically, like the brother read it in the Ezra's, man. Measure the time diligently, man. So that's what we're called to do, man. That's basically what that scripture's saying. And you see all these things happening, man. All these are you're just giving proof that we are at the end time, man. And when we read the scriptures talking about the end time, we back it up, man, with world events. Saying the scriptures are true, and we got the proof, man.
Yeah, and that's why the Most High is working on the mind of these rulers and these elite, man. Because what this dude Trump's been doing these past, since he's been elected, man, he's been pulling out of so many treaties. The latest one, what the brother brought up right now, that INF treaty with Russia, where the missile, to reduce the missile capabilities of every country, man. But he's been pulling out of it because these elites want this war to pop off, man. This part of all their Georgia Guidestones, they have a mission that they need to accomplish, but they don't know that the Most High is making them do these moves to bring them to their end, man. That's why the Most High is all powerful and all being, man. So because I have an article right here, man. Where the U.S. has withdrawn from mostly all the treaties, man. So that just these other nations are being like, well, the scriptures talk about that the beast shall hate the whore, man, and that's making that whole scenario come to fruition, man. Because that's what the way I look at it, man. They're just making it so that these other countries hate this bitch and they're gonna shoot them missiles over here, man.
God, it's gonna happen, bro. I got this one real quick. Is Isaiah 47 and 11 says, "Therefore shall evil come upon thee. Thou shalt not know from whence it rises, and mischief shall fall upon thee. Thou shalt not be able to put it off." And like the brother was saying, man, all these countries are going against America, man, and there's no stopping it, man. They said they're breaking the treaties, So all this is escalating to what? It's going to escalate to something, man. This thing is not going to just blow over, man. All the things that are happening there right now, it's just not going to blow over. They're not going to have a party and fucking chance, man. This is escalating to a world event that's coming soon. A world event of destruction, man. I'm gonna finish the scripture real quick, God. "Therefore shall evil come upon thee, thou shalt not know from whence it rises, and mischief shall fall upon thee, and thou shalt not be able to put it off. And desolation come upon thee suddenly, which thou shalt not know." So this thing is going to come like a thief in the night, like the scripture says, man. Because the majority of people in America, they're asleep. They're asleep to the things that are going on around them, man. They're caught up in fucking reality shows and in Twitters and fucking social medias and just all this gossip and bullshit that they're all about. They're not really the government, Esau's giving them bread and circus, man. They're not really aware of the reality of things that are going on a worldwide global scale. That's what, brother.
Yeah, because the American population is dumbified, man. They're the most stupid people on the whole planet Earth, man. Well, I got this, going into what I was bringing out, that all these nations are going to turn their back on America, man, and they're going to shoot them missiles, because they're going to call Esau out for the fraud that he is, man. So this is Obadiah 1:6. How are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. And part of that deceiving, man, they're doing business with you right now because they see it financially, that they need to do it, man. But it's gonna come to the time where all that bush is gonna add up, and these people are gonna be like, "Hey, fuck America, let's do our own thing," and they're gonna shoot their missiles over here, man. And prevail against thee that they that eat thy bread have laid a wood under thee. There is none understanding in him. And Esau's, hey man, hey, the Most High is getting ready to bring this man down, man. That's the end of the story. The Most High is ready to bring this man down, man.
I got one. Hey, you know what? And this about 2 weeks ago, man, you had Kanye West at the Oval Office in Washington, D.C., man, hugging Donald Trump. All right, talking about, I love this guy right here. Because you got people, mainly you Jakes, you Black Latinos, Native Americans, you Israelites, you Hebrew Israelites that the Bible talks about. All right, these law, judgment, statutes, and commandments are for you, but yet you refuse to wake up, man. You refuse to see that the Lord is coming, He's visiting the world that He created, I got this, because our people are not going to wake up, man. Here it is too. Sears closed 150 stores, man. Let me read this real quick, brothers. This is let me get it real quick. This is Sears closing. Sears has filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection and is closing nearly 150 stores, including 5 in Arizona and 3 in the Valley. 150 stores, man.
It's a lot of people with no jobs, man.
Right. I got Ecclesiastes 12:3. It says, in the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they are few, and those that look out of the windows be darkened. Grinding is ceasing, man. 150 stores. Sears is better than Walmart, man. Sears sells everything, man. All right. And the doors shall be shut in the streets when the sound of grinding is low, and he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and the daughters of music shall be brought low. And that's the thing. You see, you got malls here in Phoenix, Arizona. They're dead, man. You got a lot of malls that are dead. You got a lot of, they were booming malls. They have a lot of stores have been shut down. You only got like 2 or 3 malls that are really up. In the Phoenix, and in the East Valley area. I'm not talking about bigger cities like Tucson and things like that, but the grinding is ceasing, man. And you got dudes like Kanye West, all right, who says he loves Donald Trump, all right. When these Edomites, they're about to be destroyed out of this planet. They're going to be taken out of the rulership, man. The Lord's coming back, and He's causing the spirit to work on these different rulers to come against these Edomites, man. And they're going to be visited with war, man. All right, I'm gonna run this real quick. This is Isaiah 30. Woe to the rebellious children, saith Yahawah, that take counsel, but not of me, and that cover with the covering, but not of my spirit, that may add sin to sin. And that's that Kanye West, man, and 2/3 of our people, man. Seeing that the time is now, all right, to wake up out of sleep, what do? You asleep, and you're adding sin to sin. You're living in wickedness and iniquity. You're not repenting. You're not coming back. The prophets are out there on the streets telling, sounding the alarm, saying, hey, man, you're an Israelite. There's a certain, way of life you have to adhere to, But what the rebellious children do, what do? They go down to what? Egypt, which is what? That's symbolically for America, slavery, because we're slaves in the modern day high-tech slavery. But, our people don't want to hear that. It says they walk to go down into Egypt and have not asked at my mouth to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh and to trust in the shadow of Egypt. Yeah, you trust in the shadow of Egypt, man. You trust in the things of this so-called conglomerate business. It ain't nothing but a business.
Yeah.
All right. It says, 12 verse, wherefore thus saith the Holy One of Israel, because ye despise this word and trust in oppression and perverseness and stay thereon, therefore this iniquity shall be to you as a breach ready to fall, swelling out in a high wall, whose breaking cometh suddenly at an instant. So at an instant, man, you're going to be caught up because you don't hear the voice of the Lord or His men.
I got something
Go
quick.
ahead, bro.
Romans 13:11, and that knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep, for now is our salvation nearer than we believe. You know, and that's what the brother's going into right now. Is the time to awake out of that sleep and hey, come in fully to do the work, man. Because hey, man, the time's coming where you thought shit's going to go down. And going into what the brother's speaking about that Sears, man. Hey, Sears at one point or another, man, was a American powerhouse. You know, Sears was hand in hand with America, man. You know, that was a big company in America, man. So that company going out, it just shows that America is going down the drain already, man. You know, this place is out, man. You know.
That just testifies to the decline of the dollar, man. That's why all these stores are closing, because the money ain't getting made no more, man. The money's not getting spent no more.
It's not valuable.
You know, it's not valuable no more, man. And like the brother was going into, the majority of you so-called Black Latinos, Native Americans are gonna fall by this. You know, you're gonna fall, man. You're gonna fall. The scripture said that a third of the people, 2/3 of the people shall die, man. And I got this real quick. This is Ezekiel 5:12 says, a third part of thee shall die with the pestilence, and with famine they shall be consumed in the midst of thee. A third part shall fall by the sword round about thee, and I will scare a third part into all the winds, and I will draw out a sword after them. And so the Most High is bringing judgment on 2/3 of our people, man. You know, he's bringing judgment, man. He's bringing judgment, you know, on your so-called Black and children, Native Americans. You know, and this is self-evident what's going on in the Latin American countries, all the calamities and all the woes that are going on over there, man. You know, you had Venezuela. That's still popping, man. Even though you don't hear about it no more. You know, they had a famine over there. They had uproars of the people over there. But the media, they try to hush that away and make you forget about something else, man. But you know, that situation hasn't been solved yet.
It's not gonna get.
It's not going to get solved yet. You know, it's not going to get solved. Like I said, man, all this is escalating to a final world event. All these things that are happening, the Most High is putting all these chess pieces into play. You know, this ain't no joke, man. You know, this is something real that's happening, man. And it's all written down in the scriptures. You know, you got something, brother? No. Come on, bro. With that being said, man, this is just a quick lesson. You know, we got to be diligent about, like the brother said in the first scripture, man. We got to measure the time diligently, man. We're close to the end, and that's why, you know, we got to be pushing more harder, man. You know, we got to be more diligent about who we really are. You know, it's time to examine yourself, and you got to push that plow, you know, even harder, man. You know, because the Most High is coming back, man. The Most High, YAHAWAHSHI is coming back, man. You know, the Most High is coming back to bring judgment on this place. You know, YAHAWAHSHI is coming back to bring judgment on this place, man. And He's coming to save the elect. You know, so we gotta pursue our salvation, man. You know, we gotta run the race like Apostle Paul said.
I got a scripture.
Yeah, brother.
We get it on this. This is 2 Ezra 9:5.
God.
For like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest. Even so, the times also of the highest have plain beginnings in wonders and powerful works and endings in effects and signs. And everyone that shall be saved and shall be able to escape by his works and by faith whereby ye have believed.
God, man. So that salvation is only for the elect, man. For those are the men that's gonna believe. Those are the men that's gonna endure to the end. Those are the men that's gonna let no one take their crown, man. You know what I'm saying? Those are the men that are not gonna look back, man. Those are the men that walk by faith, like the scripture says, man. You know, the just shall walk by faith, man. You know, so Most High willing, man, we strive to be those men. And that's why in these last days that we have to exhort another, like the scripture says, exhort one another to good works. And what are those good works, man? That, you know, doing these videos, that's being brotherly, that's going out there in the highways and hedges to the Lord shuts that down. Because He's gonna shut that down too. There's not gonna be no more YouTube videos to put up, man. There's not gonna be no more brothers on the highways and hedges prophesying the downfall of America. There's gonna be straight and total chaos, man. And that's when you're gonna really know who a man of the Lord is, man. Because there's gonna be men that's gonna fold and buckle under all this pressure, man. But the Lord's gonna put spirit in His elect men to withstand all these things and to have that faith, man. You know, with that being said, man, we hope the lesson was edifying. I'm going to say, Barakatah Yahawah,
Barakatah Yahawah,
Barakatah Yahawashi,
Barakatah Yahawashi,
Barakatah Yahawah,
Barakatah Yahawah,
Barakatah Yahawashi,
Barakatah Yahawashi,
Barakatah Yahawah,
Barakatah Yahawah,
Barakatah Yahawashi.
Barakatah Yahawashi.
Hey, Shalom.